Yo, what's going on with y'all? It's your boy NeoXO coming back at y'all with another Black Clover chapter review. Today, we're going to be talking about chapter 304, and I swear this is one of the most controversial chapters. But with all that being said, let's hop right into the video. Starting off this chapter, we have Asta holding Lilliputica as her curse dissipates. So this chapter takes place right after Megicula's defeat. So that insinuates that pretty much since Megicula was defeated, that everyone who was cursed by her is now not going to be cursed by her any longer because she's no longer manifested. If you had to ask me, I would probably say she's in the underworld. I don't think she's like just never going to be shown again, because the way that it ended, it kind of just said that it ended the feud between the Silver family and Megicula, you know, because the Silver family avenged their mother and they freed Asya Silver's soul. So since her soul is pretty much free now, I feel like that part of Megicula is over, but in the future we might see her again in some form or fashion. Now, as for Lilliputica, her curse is completely gone, and I am really happy for her. I seen in the comments, and I agree, Lilliputica has just been going through a rough time. Like, she's been going through a really rough time. She's just been like the one going through the worst in this arc right here. Like, she was full of curses. She even was cursed to the point where she was becoming a devil. Like, it's really crazy. And the fact that they defeated Megicula, she no longer has to go through any of that, and she's really strong-minded because she's very happy in this chapter. Of course, you know, she's not cursed any longer, but she doesn't really dwell on the fact that she was cursed. She's not like really putting the burden of trauma onto anybody else, and she's pretty much overcoming the fact that she was cursed, like mentally overcoming it. You know, she could have been dwelling on it, but she's not doing that, and she's really in high spirits. We see Noelle run over to Lilliputica and give her a hug, and that's really indicative of their friendship. Noelle and Lilliputica have built up a friendship over Noelle's 6 months in the Heart Kingdom, and this is really shown here how Noelle just runs up to her and gives her a hug. Like, she's very happy, and Noelle deserves to run up to her and give that hug because Noelle really saved her friend. Noelle really shined in this battle. She saved her mother's soul, and she also saved one of her good friends. So she really came out on top in this battle. She's really, you know, happy and excited to move forward, knowing that her mother's soul is saved and her friends' curses are eradicated. We do see some internal dialogue of Noelle. She's basically saying that she's really embarrassed, and this is due to the fact that she came to the realization a couple chapters ago that she's in love with Asta. So now that it's been so long and she hasn't seen Asta, she really doesn't know how to act around him, especially just coming to the realization that she's in love with him, you know. So she doesn't really know how to react, so she ends up punching him away, you know. And Asta's like, what did I even do? Nothing, my friend. You haven't done anything. You're gonna find out one of these days. One of these days, you're gonna find out how Noelle truly feels about you, Asta. We see Noelle and Nozelle kind of look at each other really awkwardly, and Nozelle's pretty much thinking, like, even though the curse has been lifted, he can't really talk about it with Noelle right now. You know, I can understand that. That makes perfect sense. And pretty much we see Real pretty much ready to die. Real's like, all right, my job is done. I'm sorry, Charlotte. And he's like, basically in that moment, he's ready to die. And that's pretty much due to the fact that, you know, the spell is going to be wearing off soon. He can't just keep up this incredibly, like, powerful spell for a million years. He can't just do that. So the spell's going to, you know, fade away, and they're going to be, you know, take their damage back. And, you know, he's probably thinking that all the damage they took, they're going to die. But luckily for him, somebody's going to be showing up really soon in this chapter. So we see Lilliputica actually going to greet Gaja, and Gaja just collapses. And I want to say that it's really cool how Lilliputica, like, goes to greet Gaja, because he deserves it. Imagine if Gaja did all of that and then, like, did not get no recognition. I'm glad that Gaja got the recognition for, you know, helping save Lilliputica. Like, he really was risking his life. Literally, he used his life energy. Now, speaking of Gaja's life, I feel like that was the most controversial part of this chapter. I've been speaking to Black Clover fans, you know, in the comment section. I reply to most of the comments. A lot of the comments on my video were actually saying that Gaja should not have survived. And so if you're just now reading the chapter, or you're just now understanding what's going on, basically what ends up happening is Lilipetchika tries to use water recovery magic to heal Gaja, and you know, her water recovery magic is not as strong as Mimosa's magic, which is very telling because she has immense magical power. Like, she's the queen of the Heart Kingdom, but her water healing magic was not enough to heal Gaja, and it was not enough to like bring Gaja back from where he was. And that's when we see Vice Captain Noct. Vice Captain Noct comes through a shadow, and he actually brings Mimosa. It seems like Luck was the one whose idea was for Mimosa to come, and Noct brings Mimosa, kind of like how he brought Asta to his old estate through the shadow. He could teleport like a person through his shadows. So brings Mimosa. And another controversial thing in this chapter, like, Mimosa's grimoire appears to have a fourth leaf. At first I was like, what even? And that's something I really don't know what to think about. Like, I can't tell if it's supposed to be in the story or if they made a mistake. Usually I don't think they've made a mistake like this, so we're just gonna have to wait and see, because it wasn't really explained. You know, I would expect them to explain like, oh, Mimosa's grimoire has a 4-leaf now. You know, like, no character really said anything about it, but it does appear from the drawing and the artwork that it has 4 leaves on it. I don't really know if that's like it's either one of two things. It's either a mistake or it was intentional and she was able to gain a 4th leaf somehow. If it was intentional, we should see an explanation about it soon. And if it was a mistake, it should either be addressed in like author's notes and interview, or it will just be corrected next chapter, and it won't look like a 4-leaf anymore, and it'll just look like a regular 3-leaf. But it's just crazy to think about, like, because now it has people speculating of why she was able to get a 4th leaf, you know, because it is in there and it hasn't been addressed yet. So Mimosa ends up coming through, long story short, and she uses her ultimate plant magic, which is great. You know, she has her ultimate magic that she learned from the elves. Really impressive, really impressive. So if it is a 4-leaf, I can understand, because we see Lilipetchika not be able to heal them with her water healing magic, but whenever Mimosa uses her ultimate plant magic, she's able to heal them. So it's a lifesaver, literally. It's a lifesaver. It saved Real, Charlotte, and Gaja. Now, speaking on the controversy basically was, and I might make a whole entire video about this, but long story short about the controversy, everybody was like, why is Gaja still alive? Me personally, I think he should have just died on the battlefield. I don't know why Mimosa was getting hate, to be honest. I don't know why Mimosa was getting hate in this chapter. All she did was show up and save people's lives. You know, that's a very useful characteristic. Now, as for Gaja, I think he should have died on the battlefield because he used his life energy. You know why? And I feel like it's like clickbait. You know, it's like, all right, he gonna use his life energy. Everybody, you know, it's his final stand, and it's not really his final stand. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, imagine if the first Wizard King was fighting against Demon Licht, and he was using his all his energy, all his mana, and then it was like, oh wait, never mind. Like, I was fighting against this big demon, but I'm still alive. You know, I mean, I guess few people feel like it cheapened the impact of the sacrifice, because Gaja was making a sacrifice, but he ended up not having to make the sacrifice because the sacrifice was supposed to be his life, but he actually survived. Now, I do think it makes sense, 1000%. I do think it makes sense, but I think it just would have been more, I think it would have been more accepted if he did die, because, you know, people were like literally crying about this man dying, and then it's like, nah, JK, we're just joking, he's not dead. But, you know, it's not a big deal since it makes sense. Ultimate plant magic, you know, it's a healing, it's a very powerful healing spell, and it's a way to show Mimosa's strength. Like, her healing spell is so strong that it could take people from the verge of death. You know, that's just, you know, something that Tabata wanted to have in a story. So after Gaja was healed, he basically goes up to Lilipetchika and says, I love you. And not as the queen of the Heart Kingdom, but I love you as a woman. Like, I have romantic love for you. And the cast of Black Clover just looks in amazement. They're like, what? Like, especially Charlotte. Charlotte's like, you know, has a blank expression, and it's probably because she's like, oh, it's that easy? I haven't done that for Yami yet, you know. But she's probably taking notes. That might spark something in her to actually be able to tell Yami. And you know, Laura Petrica pretty much blushes, and you know, it's kind of like a gag moment almost, because you know, Undine's looking like, hey, Lola Petrica is for me. You know, Undine just has like a never-ending love for Lola Petrica, and so does Gaja. It's cool. I really like this. I really ship them together. And if Tabata kept Gaja alive for Gaja X Loro, I'm 1000% here for it. Then we have Nozel giving Yami some credit. He's like, Noelle got stronger because of Yami, so we absolutely have to save Yami. You know, showing once again like Nozel cares for his family, and he's gonna repay like the debt to Yami because Yami helped his sister get so powerful. So right after that, we got Noct, and Noct is always serious. I like that about Noct. And he's like, with Megicula and Vonica being defeated, now we only have one Dark Triad member to worry about, and a smooth transition over to Yuno and Langris versus Zenon. So this takes place right here a short time before Megicula was actually defeated. So this right here is not current. It was actually taking place at the same time as Megicula. So we just see Zenon in his full form, and he's like, we've wasted enough time. Let's just end this right now. And then Langris looking kind of nervous. He like, what we about to do, you know? And then Yuno like, just give me 3 minutes and we're gonna take care of this. I'm gonna try to end this with my next attack. So yeah, we got Yuno versus Zenon, and it looked like it's about to be the decisive moment. We about to really see what's happening, you know. But really cool way to end off the chapter, in my opinion, with Yuno and Zenon. Some people saying that like Tabata just be rushing to the next fight. It is what it is. It's a battle shonen. It's not a slice of life. You know what I'm saying? It's a battle shonen. So they about to hit the next battle, and that's about to be real cool. I enjoyed that. Especially I like how he drew Zenon. Zenon looking real menacing, and I really like that. The Yuno versus Zenon fight might turn out to be the best one of the Dark Triads. Let's just wait and see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's been your boy NeoXO, and I'm out.